Hello, welcome to the Tech. In this session, we'll discuss what is the prerequisite for shutting down the Netapp storage system. The situation is like there is a power down activity in your data center or the maintenance activity in your data center. In that situation, we have to shut down your Netapp storage system completely. So before shutting down your Netapp storage system, we have to take some of the configuration backup or some of the command commands output so that it would be helpful after powering up the NetApp storage system. Some situations the client may say after shutting down the NetApp storage system, I'm unable to see my LUN, I'm unable to see my CFS drive. So in that situation, when if we have taken the commands output from the storage system before shutting down the storage system, it would be a great help. So, what is the prerequisite? Like, first, before shutting down the NetApp storage system in your data center, first you have to shut down your all connected hosts, all the connected servers in which are connected to the NetApp storage system. If all the hosts or all the storage server systems are shutting down, then you can go ahead for the controller shutdown. So one by one controller you have to shut down the controllers of the NetApp storage system. So before shutting down the NetApp storage controller, we have to take some of the commands output. I'll 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 show you how to take the command output, how to execute the commands, and how to save all the command outputs, and it will be helpful for validation in the right point of time. Then after shutting down the NetApp controllers, you have to power down all the disk shelves. Then power down all the connected FC switches or Ethernet switches. When powering off of the storage system, we have to first power off all the switches. Then we have to power on all the disk shelves and wait for 5 to 10 minutes. If all the disks and shelves are glowing green in color LEDs, if all looks good, then only you can power off all the controllers. Then you have to verify, you have to log into your SAN system or storage or NetApp storage, and you have to validate it. Then power off of all the host machines which is connected to the storage system. So this is the process, this is the procedure, this is the step by step process when you are going to shut down your storage system, NetApp storage system. So now I will show you the some of the commands and that output we have to take, we have to keep in a safer place, or you have to save in your local machine or somewhere else, which can be very helpful while validation of the storage system. So to see the aggregate status, I have to execute the command aggr status. See how many aggregates are there in the completely cluster. It can be fetched here by executing the aggr status. Then how many lawns are there? You have to execute the command lawn show. These many lawns are associated with this cluster. Then igroup show, it will give you the igroup information. Then vserver show, how many vservers are present in this storage system? You can find out by executing the command vserver show. Then how many network interfaces are there, and the network logical IP addresses leaves are there? We can execute by the command network interface show. These many leaves and associated IP addresses are present in this storage system. So this way you can identify. Then to check the NetApp health, how, by executing the command system health status show. This system is very healthy. If it is in a if there is some failure in this storage system or something happen, it will be show you in the degraded mode, but it is showing okay, means the status is very good. And to display the health status of the subsystem of the storage, we can execute the command system health subsystem show. SAS connectivity, environment connectivity, memory, service processor, everything looks good. So that's why the parameter is okay. It is in healthy state. Then the self connectivity, we can execute the command system health system connectivity self. So the self UID is this one, and self ID is 0, and it is connected to the connected nodes are this one. Then system health system connectivity self show hyphen instance. You can have this complete information like UID of the self and self ID, the status, number of paths, everything showing by executing this command. System health node connectivity disk. So the disks are connected how it is. It is connected with the dual path or single path. We can see by executing this command. So this is the you know the node and the disk name and the bay name and the number of path to, so it is consist of 12 path. So the one disk is visible to the two nodes. It is a two node cluster. So system node show how many nodes are present in the system. We can find out. This is one node, it is another node. So two node cluster. Then adapter information like how many adapters are connected, how many adapters are present in the system, and how it is by executing the command system health node connectivity adapter node connectivity adapter adapter show. So the uh, one node having 0A and 0B adapter and another node having 0A and 0B adapter. So we can have dual paths. So one path combined to form two paths, one path combined to form two paths. So number of selves are 1. One path is connected to through 0A, another path is connected to 0B. The same self is connected with two paths. Then the intercluster switch information, switch health we can know by executing the command system health cluster switch show the cluster switch so and associated IP addresses and cluster network and the cluster information it is showing here. And what is the version of this system? Version. If you execute the version command, we can have Netapp release 8.2, 8.3.2 and the service processor IP addresses SP show. So we can have the SP IP addresses. It is the version IP version. It is online storage processor means node 1 SP, node 2 SP, and you can execute some other commands as well. There is no CFSR here, only the it is a SHAN. So the FC protocol is associated with this Netapp storage system, and you can execute many other commands as well if it is required, like snap mirror. It is not snap mirror is not associated with the storage system, so I'm unable to execute that command. So you can have lot of commands you can execute, and you can take the output of all the commands. Take the output of all the commands, and you can save in your notepad. Okay, uh, in your notepad, and you can save in your local machine or in your shared drive, so that when the Netapp storage system coming off after powering down, you can verify with this output and you can validate to your customer, so there will be no complaint from the customer. If something goes wrong, if something mismatched, you can rectify and you can give to the customer. So this is the prerequisite of before shutting down the Netapp storage system, and I will explain in my next session how to shut down the storage system, Netapp storage system, to CLI command line interface. Thank you very much.